Hello and welcome to today's math lesson. So first of all, guys, can we all turn to wave and say a big hello to our friends on camera? Hello. Hello. And we'll begin by doing our meditation sequence. So I will sit down, take 2 fingers, find our heart center, left hand on our lap, and close our eyes. And when you're ready, guys, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. Very good. And next we'll do our stretching sequence. So let's stand up and push in our chairs. So let's begin by stretching up high. High to the sky. And now let's go down low. Touch your toes. Now we go back up high. And this time, let's go tippy-toe high and have a wave. And then back down low to touch your toes. Now stand up, hands on hips. And let's have a wiggle side to side. Wiggle side to side. Stop. And now another wiggle. Stop. And now we'll go forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, and stop. Round and round. Let's move round and round. Give our spines a good stretch before sitting back down. And stop. We go back the other way. 1, 2, 3. Excellent, guys. And let's shake it out. Shake it out. Shake it out. And to finish, we will do 5 star jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent, guys. Have a seat. So who can tell me what we began learning about in math class last time? In the previous lesson, we had a special word beginning with S. Symmetry. Symmetry. So let's spell that word together. S-Y-M-M-E-T-R-Y. Symmetry. And can we remember what symmetry means? Symmetry means when we have a shape that looks identical on both sides, that means it's symmetry or symmetrical. Symmetrical. And the best way that we can decide if a shape has symmetry or is symmetrical is to draw a line down the middle of that shape. Does anybody remember what term we give to shapes that don't have symmetry? We say non-symmetrical. Excellent. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do an activity. I will draw a shape on the board, and I will ask one of my students to come forward and see if they can remember how to draw the line to give that shape symmetry. So first shape, guys, let's see. What can we have first? I think we'll go with a circle first. Nice round circle. Okay, so how do we spell circle first of all? C-I-R-C-L-E. And for the first shape, I will demonstrate. Where do we need to put our line of symmetry so that the circle will look symmetrical? Will I draw the line here? No, because then both sides won't look the same. Can I draw it here on this side? No. Where does it need to go? It needs to go down the middle. For symmetry to take place, the line has to go down the middle so that both sides look exactly the same. Okay? So guys, I want you to demonstrate for me now. So first of all, close your eyes. Okay, open your eyes now, guys. And Lakgao has the pen. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to decide what shape it is I've drawn. What shape is this? Triangle. So Lakgao, can you write the word triangle underneath? R-I-A-N-G-L-E. Excellent, Lakgao. Triangle. Now, thinking about symmetry, it's not symmetrical yet, it's just one shape. But where do we need to draw our line to give the triangle symmetry? Perfect, Lakgao. That's excellent. You see, once again, the line of symmetry has to pass down the middle of the shape so that both sides look the same. So now we can say the triangle is symmetrical. Excellent. Big high five for Lakgao and round of applause, please. And we'll do one more shape to practice, then everybody's going to have an activity to practice themselves. So let's close our eyes, guys. And we'll do one more shape. Okay, now let's open our eyes. Pak Bung, can you come and join me at the front, please? So first of all, what shape have I drawn on the board? Square. It basically looks like a square. So how do we spell square? S-Q-U-A-R-E. All together, guys, square. Now, Pak Bung, thinking back to the last lesson about symmetry, where will you draw your line of symmetry so that both sides look the same? Perfect. You'll go down the middle again. Now you can see if the line of symmetry passes through the middle of the shape, both sides are identical. This means the shape is symmetrical. So that was excellent. High five and a big round of applause for Pak Bung. And a round of applause, everyone, guys. That was great. Well done. So now, teachers, what we're going to do in class is we're going to do an exercise so that students can design their own symmetrical shape. So what you need to do for this activity is just to give each of your students a plain sheet of A4 paper, and also make sure that our students have access to a pencil and scissors, okay? And what we're going to ask our students to do is what they'll do first of all, when they receive their sheet of A4 paper, we need to fold it in half, okay? First thing to do, guys, fold it in half, because we're going to draw a picture on this side of the paper. And then when we cut along that side and reveal the shape, we will open it up and the shape will be symmetrical, okay? So first of all, Chu, here's your sheet. No need no glue, no glue. Scissors. Pat. Pak bong.
Thank you.
Net. Down. Bang pon. Crow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And lackout. Okay, guys, so let's do together. Step one, have we all got our pieces of paper? Everybody have their paper like this? Okay, first thing to do is fold our paper in half. Pat, you got your paper? We can fold our paper into half. Like this. Don't open it yet, because what we're going to do is only on one side of the paper. We're going to work on one side to show symmetry. Okay. Now that everybody has folded their paper into half, we can take a pencil. Now, I will demonstrate first. Students, you don't need to draw anything yet, but teacher will demonstrate, because we're going to give our students more time, around 10 minutes, so that they can draw their picture. But what we need to do, guys, on our sheet of paper is take it and draw a picture of anything you wish on one side of the piece of paper, like this. Your drawing will look a lot better because you can draw anything you want. But the key is that the only thing you can do is write and draw on one side of the paper. And when you've finished your drawing, we will cut around the outline. And when you open up the paper, you will see that both sides are the same. And that will prove symmetry. So, okay? So now our students are at this stage where they have their paper folded in half, and they can now spend around 10 minutes drawing and designing their shape. So for 10 minutes, guys, you can draw and design your shape, but no need to cut yet. And remember, only to draw on one side of the paper, okay? And you can draw anything you want. So you can begin. Perfect. But think about symmetry. If you're going to draw a heart, you only need half the heart, because when you cut and open up, the other half will be here. Okay? Flower, butterfly, anything you wish. You can do any shape that you like. It's up to you. No, one side. You don't need to draw both sides, because when you cut, you will open and it will be on both sides, and that will be symmetry. That's why it's important only to draw on one side of your paper, because we will cut both sides, and when we open up, you will see the symmetrical shape. So think about it. So Ned, you could draw anything you want on this side of the paper. Okay? So Nadia is drawing a flower. So now, you see, so you have half a heart. When you cut here, you will have both sides. You will open up and you will have a heart. And remember, guys, if you finish drawing your picture, you can color too, but only color the side that you've drawn. And that will show the contrast between your drawn side and symmetrical. Okay, so the next step of our symmetrical shape that we're designing, once our students have drawn and colored their design on one side, it's now time to cut. And it's important to remember, we don't want anything on the other side, because what we'll do when we cut, that will prove the symmetry. So what we need to do is carefully take a set of scissors and cut from the middle of the paper along the line that we have designed. And if we keep cutting along both sides of the set of paper, what we should see so there you go. I have cut along the sides of the paper that I have drawn. I draw nothing on the other side, but what you will see is when you open up your paper, you will see that both halves are identical. And this means that they have symmetry. Even though we only designed one side of the paper, by cutting on both sides an equal amount, you will see we have designed our own symmetrical shape. So now it's time, teachers, carefully to help your students to cut their shapes so that they can display their symmetry too. Because everybody will come here like this, and then you'll see symmetry. Excellent, Pat. That's symmetry. Excellent. You see, both sides are the same. Butterfly. Perfect, you see? So you notice, Pakbong, that's the side you designed. And there, symmetry. Both the same. Like your face, if you draw a line down your face, both sides look the same. Symmetry. And then open. Open. Perfect. Perfect. And now, once we've finished our symmetrical shapes, our students have brought them to the front of class to display. So you can see that the sides with colour are the sides that we designed. But then once we cut the paper, after it had been folded, and we opened it up again, you can see both sides of the paper look exactly the same. And what is the word that we use for this, guys? Symmetry. So excellent. One more time. Show yours to camera. Brilliant. Well done, guys. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the craft activity so that they could start off with a blank piece of paper and through a few steps they could design their own symmetrical shape. And my students here all did a great job. So well done, guys. Some lovely shapes. Well done. And what we're going to do now is take a look at another PowerPoint presentation so that we can further learn about symmetry. So let's all turn our chairs to have a look at the TV screen, guys. So let's take a look at our PowerPoint presentation, Symmetry number 2. Yes, take a look at this building, guys. Remember from the last lesson. What do you notice about the building? It's the same on both sides. And what name do we give to a shape that's the same on both sides? Symmetry. Or we can say it's symmetrical. A shape that is the same on both sides has symmetry. We call these shapes symmetrical. And you see how we decide if a shape is symmetrical? We can draw a line down the middle of each shape. And then, if we think the shape looks the same on both sides, it has symmetry or is symmetrical. Okay? Shapes that do not look the same are called non-symmetrical. Yes, you see the shapes we have here on this slide. They are non-symmetrical. If we draw a line down the center of each of the shapes, will these shapes look the same on both sides? No, they'll be different. So therefore, they are non-symmetrical. Symmetrical and non-symmetrical. You can see the shapes here on the left-hand side are symmetrical. We can draw lines so that they'll both look the same. But these shapes, non-symmetrical. Some of the objects around us have symmetrical shapes. Yes. Such as the TV screen we are looking at now. If you draw a line down the center of the TV screen, will it look the same on both sides? Yes. So therefore, the TV screen is symmetrical. A line of symmetry divides a shape into two equal parts. So remember, the line we draw to see if a shape has symmetry or not is called the line of symmetry. You can see it here going down the middle of each of the shapes. So one more time, guys. Line of symmetry. Very good. Some shapes have multiple lines of symmetry. What does multiple mean? More than one. See? What shape do we have here? 4 sides, 4 corners. Square. But you look, a square doesn't just have one line of symmetry going straight down the middle. A square has 4 lines of symmetry. Because if we draw a line across the middle going horizontal, the top and bottom look identical. And if we draw lines from corner to corner, each side will still look identical. So you see how different lines of symmetry can make different shapes look the same. How many lines of symmetry does your shape have? Any questions, guys? No. Excellent. Very well done. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the PowerPoint presentation so that we can learn more about symmetry and lines of symmetry. One more time, guys. Lines of symmetry. Now, what I want to show here is a quick demonstration of how different shapes have multiple lines of symmetry. So when we looked earlier, what shape is this? Square. And what do we call this line going down the middle? Line of symmetry. So you see, so far we have one line of symmetry, because when we draw our line down the middle horizontally, both sides look the same. But how about if I draw another line of symmetry here? Does the top of the square and the bottom of the square look the same? Yes, you can see they're still identical. So far we can say a square has two lines of symmetry. But then we can go further. We can take a line from the corner here and draw it all the way through to here. And we can see that this side of the square will still look identical to this side of the square. So far, 3 lines of symmetry. And finally, if we can go from this corner to here, that means that we can go from this corner to here. 4. So how many lines of symmetry does the square have? 1, 2, 3, 4. But when we look at a triangle, can anybody think of any other way we can make the triangle symmetrical? No. If I go this way with the triangle, the top and the bottom are different. So the triangle only has one line of symmetry, but the shape of the square has 4. Okay, guys, so very well done. Now, teachers, it's time for our worksheet part of the lesson. What our students need to do is look at each of the shapes on this worksheet. So what you need to do is print off enough worksheets for each of the students in your class. And our students need to go through each of the shapes, and this time they need to decide how many lines of symmetry they can find on each of their shapes. Like we've done some already. How many can you find on a square, guys? 4. But with a triangle, you can only find 1. So let's go through our shapes and see how many different lines of symmetry we can find on each. But what's the first thing we must do? Write our names on top. Excellent, guys. So Chu, this one's for you. Nadia. Pat, for you. Pak Boong. Ned. And for down. Bangpon, here's yours. You're welcome. Prau, you're welcome. And Lak Gao. So, first thing to do, guys, write your names on top of the worksheet. And then, using a pencil, don't forget, it's okay to draw lines on your shapes. So let's see how many lines of symmetry we can find on each shape. For example, Nadia. There's one. There's one line of symmetry. Can you find any others? Any other lines that make the shapes look exactly the same? Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, so can you draw it? 1. Yes. Can you find any more? No. So only 1. No, you see. If you draw your line here, do both sides look the same? No, remember, symmetry means looking the same. So our first shape, Pentagon, has one line of symmetry. What you need to do for this exercise is see how many lines of symmetry. This is a pentagon. One, okay. Oval has lots, yes. Oval and circle have lots. Actually, a circle has hundreds of lines of symmetry. So you can see down. So we have one line of symmetry here. One line of symmetry here. How about? So we know we've got one. Can you find any more? That makes the shape look the same on both sides. One. With the oval. Yes, excellent. See, Pangpon, that's a line of symmetry. Well done. And also, you can get another one going up. So there's two. Well done. Here, and this one. One. Just write the number of lines you can find. I can find another one. One. Two. Still the same, up and down? Yes. So, there's two. See how many you can find. Some shapes will have more than others. Some only have one. Yes. Two. Really? If we draw the line, so you can use your ruler. Let's see. I think you're right. 4. Yes. Be careful. How many lines of symmetry on this shape?
1.
And then what about if we go here? 2. You see? Because it still looks the same. Here too. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the worksheet activity where they had to work their way through the various shapes and decide how many lines of symmetry each shape has. And our students here did a great job. And also, as a trick question, the last shape is non-symmetrical. It has 0 lines of symmetry. So well done, guys. That was very well worked out. And that's the end of today's lesson. So we hope you've enjoyed it, found it interesting, and had some fun too, especially with the craft activity when you designed your own symmetrical shape. And we'll see you again soon for the next lesson. So can we turn to wave and say goodbye? Goodbye. Bye-bye. See you again next time.